Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 1991 playoffs in Payoff Pitch Baseball. We've been through Game 1 of the American League Division Series between Oakland and Pittsburgh, and Oakland now leads that series 1-0. Now we're over to the National League for Game 1 of the the National League Division Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. We are going to be in Los Angeles for this one, but let's go ahead and meet our Braves starting pitcher first. Starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves is Tom Glavine. 20-11 with a 2.55 ERA, 192 strikeouts, 69 walks, 201 hits, and 17 homers in 246 2/3 innings back in 91. That's the Braves starter. Now let's go meet the Dodgers starter, and we'll take our first look at the Dodgers home ballpark. Starting pitcher for the Dodgers tonight is Mike Morgan. 14-10 with a 2.78 ERA. 140 strikeouts, 61 walks, 12 homers, and 197 walks in 91 and 236 1/3 innings pitched. I'm going to be experimenting with another layout on the scoreboard tonight, so let's move over to take a look at the main shot. In the hubbub of getting over here, we actually forgot to take a look at Dodger Stadium. So Dodger Stadium is, of course, the home ballpark for the Dodgers. As we can see, it's a little bit more friendly to left-handed batters on a wheelhouse check, but definitely still a pitcher's park. I call anything 50 and below a pitcher's park, anything above 50 a hitter's park on wheelhouse. So we've got all that set up, and I'm trying a new setup with the scoreboard tonight. So I'm back to the Marble Champions dials again, but I've got them propped up on dice. And looking at a glance in the camera, they look a little bit easier to read. Some of the angles on the lighting might be making that a little bit hard to see, but that's just kind of how the dials are set up. So, let me bring the dice tower. I may have to adjust the zoom on that a little bit to bring the dice tower into shot. We can get it just on the upper right corner of the shot. So I think we're all set here for the time being. So let's play ball. While the Dodgers get loose in the field, let's take our first look at the Braves starting lineup. Leading off, we've got Otis Nixon in left field. Sid Bream is at first base. Terry Pendleton is at third base. Ron Gant is in center field. David Justice is in right field. Jeff Treadway is at second base. Greg Olson is catching. Rafael Belliard is at shortstop. And Tom Glavine is going to hit off with pitcher hitting card number 11. We'll reset the Braves lineup. Morgan's done with his warm-up tosses, so now stepping into the batter's box is Otis Nixon. He had no homers against either side last year, or in 91. We're going to use blue and white dice, as the Dodgers are the home team. For the tens dice, we'll be reading them blue, then white. Morgan will get his first sign of the night from Mike Scotia. He'll get all set up, and we're just about ready to start this Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Who will take the all-important Game 1? There's only one way to find out, and the way to start that is to go to the first pitch. So, Morgan will wind up, and here is the first pitch. That's going to be an 8, which is going to be a tough 4, and that's going to be a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Morgan's already got the heat working, so that'll be his first strikeout on the night. Next up is the first baseman, Sid Bream. He hit 10 of his 11 homers against right-handed pitching, and Morgan is, of course, a righty. Morgan will get the sign from Scotia. He will wind up, and here's the pitch. 7 is an in-play 0-0. We're going to have a rare play already. In play with bases empty. So we'll roll the D10s. That's a 50. Batter hits a slow roller near the third base line. If the visiting team is batting, and they are, the pitcher makes a terrific barehanded play to throw out the batter at first base. If the home team is batting, we won't worry about that because the visiting team is batting. So Morgan's going to come up, he's going to jump off the mound, get to that one, and he'll make a brilliant play on that one to make sure that he gets the second out of the inning. And that'll bring Terry Pendleton up to the plate. He hit 18 of his 22 homers against right-handed pitching. We'll readjust that. That's the one thing I don't think I like about this setup, is any die goes flying and those dials come falling. Morgan will get the sign from Scotia. Here's the windup, and here's the delivery. 11 is an in-play 71. That's going to be way too high to do anything with that. That's going to be grounded right over to second. Getting after that one is going to be Samuel. He'll fire it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Braves in the top of the first. I'm looking for the box score over here. I just found it. Okay. Now the Braves will get loose in the field, so we'll take our first look at the Dodgers starting lineup before we go too far. Leading off, we'll have Alfredo Griffin at shortstop. Juan Samuel is at second base. Darryl Strawberry in right field. Brett Butler is in center field. Mike Sharperson is at third base. Cal Daniels is in left. Eddie Murray is at first base. Mike Scioscia's catching. And Mike Morgan, the pitcher, will hit off of batting card number 3 for pitchers. And leading off is Alfredo Griffin. No homers in 91. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. Here's the windup, Glavine being a lefty, and here's the pitch. 3 is a defense check, so we're going to the defense already for the Braves. We are checking for a possible error on the shortstop. The error for the shortstop for the Braves is Belliard. His error rating is a 4, so he is pretty good out there. He wants a 43 and up to make the play. That's a 54. He'll have maybe a little bit of trouble, but he'll get to that. The type of out on that is going to be a ground ball. Hit right on the screws to Belliard. He'll get that one, though. And he'll fire it over to first for the first out of the inning. Next up, I just did it again. Glavine is not off the mound. Next up is Juan Samuel, the second baseman. He hit 7 of his 12 homers against left-handed pitching. Glavine waits for the sign from Olsen. He'll nod at the sign. Glavine will wind, and here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 17. And Glavine's got the changeup working. That will be a called strike 3 on the inside corner. That pitch froze Samuel, and that will be the second out of the inning. Next up, we have the right fielder, Darryl Strawberry. He had 11 homers against left-handed pitching. Glavine waits for the sign from Olsen. Here's the wind, and here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a patient 17. Strawberry is going to work a ball 4 out of that one. A slider that gets away from Glavine. And Strawberry will find himself on with the base on balls. And here's Brett Butler. Butler didn't hit any of his homers against left-handed pitching. Right, Strawberry isn't going to try to run anywhere with 2 outs. Butler will wait for the delivery from Glavine. Glavine gets the sign from Olsen. He will set, and here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 47. And Butler's gonna fight that one off and get a base hit out of it. Let's see what happens on the bases on the fast action cards. Ball blooped into right field. Runner on first advances 1 base, so that'll be an S9. And Strawberry will find himself at second on a 2-out single from Butler. Next up, here's the third baseman, Mike Sharperson. Both of his homers in 91 came against left-handed pitching. Glavine looking in at Olsen with suddenly runners on first and second with 2 outs, and the Dodgers have something going on here. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. He'll set, looking at the runners, and here's the pitch. 11 is a patient 70. I'm pretty sure 70 is too high on a... No, actually, it's not too high on a patient. A 70 is going to be a base hit up the middle. Actually, let's see where it goes. That'll be another ball blooped into right field. Runner on first advances one base, and Strawberry will come in to score. And that'll be the first Dodger run of the day. So Strawberry will score. Butler will make second. Sharperson to first. And just like that, it's 1-0 Dodgers. Stadium cheers. Yay! The dials are still, I think, a little bit hard to see, but we're going to stick with them for this game, and maybe it may not come across that way when you guys watch this on the video. And I'll be curious for feedback on how the dials look slightly propped up like that. I may prop them up a little bit more though as the game goes on. I wonder if maybe lifting them up is the answer rather than trying to angle them. We'll see though. I may play around with that a little bit as the game's going on. Anyway, next up to the plate is Cal Daniels, the left fielder. He had 6 of his 17 homers against left-handed pitching. 1-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. He will set, and here's the pitch. 11 again is a patient 93. This time that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going to be Justice. He'll haul that in, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. And just like that, the score is 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. We'll get ready for the top of the second now with the middle of the Braves order due up next. Morgan will finish as his warm-up tosses to start the top of the second. Stepping into the batter's box is Ron Gant. Gant hit 22 of his 32 homers against right-handed pitching. So Gant will finish his warm-up swings as Morgan gets the sign from Scotia. Morgan will nod at the sign. He will wind up, and here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a defense. Is it going to be another defense check? Who are we checking for the Dodgers this time? This time we're checking possible error by the shortstop. The shortstop for the Dodgers is Griffin. His error rating is a 3. He wants a 56 and up to make the play. A 77 is going to that'll work for him. So that will be on the next card. That will be ground ball over to Griffin, and he's got it. We won't make an error on that. He'll get that nice and clean, and that will be the first out of the inning for the Braves. Next up is David Justice. 14 of his 21 homers in 91 came against right-handed pitching. 1-0 Dodgers, top of the second. Morgan will get the sign from Scotia. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 10 is another defense check already. This time, what are we checking? Error on the first baseman. The first baseman for the Dodgers is Murray. His error rating's a 3. Just like we had for Griffin earlier. Except this time he's going to boot it. Let's see what happens on the... Let's see how many bases it is. That's going to be a 1-base error, so it'll be an E3, and Justice will find himself on with a 1-out error. Then here's Jeff Treadway. All three of his homers came against right-handed pitching. Justice is a 4 against a 9. Jump up 4 against a hold of 9, but he's a D. It's a D4 to steal, which is a normal chance. Justice is going to stay put. Runner on first, 1 out for the Braves. Braves trailing by a score of 1-0. Morgan will get the sign from Scotia, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 98. And that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Coming under that one easily will be Strawberry. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. As next up to the plate will be Greg Olson. The infield would have been at double play depth for that last play. They're back now. Greg Olson hit 4 of his 6 homers against right-handed pitching. Justice is, of course, still not trying to steal. Morgan will get the sign from Scotia, and here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a patient 96. I doubt he's that patient. No. That's going to be a fly ball into left field. Coming under that one for the Dodgers will be Daniels. He'll have to make a couple steps to his right, but that will retire the side. Nothing across the error for the except the error for the Braves. Glavine will now get his warm-up tosses in as he's looking at the bottom of the Dodgers order. First up for the Dodgers is Eddie Murray. 6 of his 19 homers coming against left-handed pitching. I'm so used to dealing with righties here. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. Here's the windup and the pitch. Let's see. 5 is going to be a tough 60. And against the lefty, he's going to pop that. He's going to fly that one out to right field. Coming under that one is going to be Justice. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Next up is Mike Scioscia. He hit 3 of his 8 homers against left-handed pitching in '91. Scioscia will get the sign, or Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. Glavine will wind, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 87. That's going to be hit right on the screws, except right at the second baseman. Coming to that one will be Treadway. He'll make the play over to first. Over to first for the second out of the inning. And now we've got Mike Morgan coming up to the plate. We don't have any batting stats for him. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Glavine trying to keep this game right where it is. Fortunately, he's against the right guy to try to probably keep it there. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. Morgan will hold the bat waiting, and here's the pitch. 11 is a patient 44. He's not that patient. That's going to be grounded right over to third base. Coming to that one, maybe having to make a couple steps to his right, is going to be Pendleton. He'll move it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers in the bottom of the second, but the score remains 1-0. We'll get ready for the top of the third with the bottom of Atlanta's order due up next. Morgan will finish up with his warm-up tosses, and here's Rafael Belliard stepping into the batter's box. Belliard didn't hit any homers in '91. Morgan will get the sign from Scioscia. Morgan will wind up, and here comes the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 22, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Actually, no, that's going to be a called strike 3. The slider catches enough of the outside corner that Belliard's going to be called out on strikes. And here's Tom Glavine. Once again, no batting stats for Glavine in this case. Morgan will get the sign from Scioscia. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 57. That's going to be too high. That's going to be a fly ball into right field. Strawberry moving to his left, but he'll get that one easily for the second out of the inning. And here's Otis Nixon coming up. Nixon is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Morgan looks to be in a groove here. Morgan will get the sign from Scioscia. Here's the windup, and here's the delivery. Nixon is batting lefty, by the way, to try to take advantage of a better wheelhouse. 10 is going to be a defense check, though. Let's see what we're checking for the Dodgers. Somebody's got to play some defense. Error on the third baseman. The third baseman for the Dodgers is Sharperson. His error rating at third base is a 5. He's really good out there. He wants a 30 and up to make the play, though. That's a 56. He'll make that play easily. Let's see what kind of play it's going to be. That's going to get popped out. That's going to get popped up. Sharperson will come under that one. Nothing crazy happening with the error there. And that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 will go the Braves. We'll get ready for the bottom of the third as we'll pause for station identification. This is the Phoenix Night Video Network, YouTube network. Yes, I know, once again, doesn't really roll off the tip of the tongue, but hey, work with me on this. Top of the third as we're getting ready for Alfredo Griffin in the batter's box. Alfredo Griffin grounded out his first time up. 1-0 Dodgers heading into the bottom of the third. Glavine will get the sign from Olson. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 82, and that's going to be popped into center field. Coming under that one is Gant. He'll maybe make a couple steps to his right, but he'll get that one for the first out of the inning for the Braves. Next up is Juan Samuel. Samuel struck out looking his first time up. Glavine gets the sign from Olson. I will be dropping dice again. Glavine will wind up, and here comes the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 50, and that's going to be grounded right over to first base. Coming to that one is Bream. He'll take that to the bag himself for the second out of the inning. And here's Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry reached on a walk back in the first. Bottom of the third, 2 outs. Me dropping dice. Base is empty. Glavine looks in at Olson for the sign. Glavine shakes off Olson. Gets another sign. This one he nods at. He will wind up, and here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 79. And that's going to be a fly ball into center field. Once again, coming under that one is going to be Gant. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3 will go the Dodgers. The score will remain 1-0 in favor of LA. Getting ready for the top of the fourth now. And we've got the 2, 3, 4 of Atlanta's order due up next. Before we jump into the fourth inning, let's have a quick moment of silence for the troops who stormed the beaches of Normandy today 80 years ago, back in 1944. Thank you for your indulgence on that. Before we start the inning, I also want to mention that I am switching the layout of the scoreboard. I'm going back to that big scoreboard that I had down toward the front of the Oakland-Minnesota game on Monday night. I'm still worried that it's going to look very distracting, but I figure it's going to be easier to see this than it will be to see the Marvel Champions scoreboard, to see the Marvel Champions dials. So you guys can let me know in the comments section what you think of either of the new scoreboard ideas. Anyway, that ramble aside, we needed some extra time for Morgan to finish his warm-up tosses for Sid Bream to step into the batter's box. Bream, though, is 0 for 1. 1-0 Dodgers heading into the top of the fourth. Morgan will get the sign from Scotia. Morgan will wind up, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 96, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Strawberry coming under that one easily. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Next up, we have Pendleton. Pendleton is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Morgan will look in at Scotia for the sign. Morgan will wind, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 0-0. We will have another in-play rare play with the bases empty. .75. Batter hits a slow roller to first base, who fields the ball and throws to pitcher covering the base. The batter and pitcher collide, knocking both players to the ground. Roll a D6, and if the result is equal to or less than the pitcher's E rating, the batter's out. Otherwise, safe on an infield single. We'll be checking the batter and pitcher for injury after that. So we roll a D6. Morgan's E rating is a 4. So if it's equal to or less, the batter's called out. Otherwise, he's safe on an infield single. That's a 2, so Pendleton will be out. That'll be the second out of the inning, but we need to check both Morgan and Pendleton for injuries. Morgan is durable, so we'll be rolling a D100 for that. That's a 97, so he's actually injured for the remainder of the game plus 1 D6 games. Morgan out for remainder plus another 5 games. Yikes. But now we need another starter. We already need another reliever for the Dodgers. So Morgan's out of the game. I'll compile stats after I check for Pendleton's injury. He's also durable. So let's see what his role comes out to. 79. Pendleton is out for the remainder of the game. So Pendleton will be out. So Pendleton's out. We're going to need a new pitcher, so we need a new third baseman for the Braves. Taking over at third base for the Braves might be Blauser. We'll see. Yep, it's going to be Jeff Blauser taking over at third base for the Braves. As for the Dodgers, they need a new pitcher as Morgan has to come out. Morgan went 3 2/3. He won't be eligible for the win. Faced a total of 12 batters. Struck out 2 batters. Didn't walk anybody. No hits, no runs, no earned, no wild pitches. So we're going to need a... Oh, look at that. We got a long reliever right here. So coming in to pitch for the Dodgers will be John Wetland. 1-0 with... yeah, that should be fine. So John Wetland coming in to pitch for the Dodgers with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And here's Ron Gant. Gant is 0 for 1. Wetland gets his warm-up tosses in. He will settle in. Wetland will look at Scotia for the sign, and here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a patient 86. Gant isn't that patient. He's going to ground that one right over to short. Coming at that one is going to be Griffin. He'll move it over to first, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. Glavine will get his warm-up tosses in as he's looking at the heart of the... He's looking at the 4, 5, 6 of the Dodgers order. First up is Brett Butler. Butler had a single his first time up. 1-0 Los Angeles, bottom of the 4th. Glavine looking at Olsen for the sign, and here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 15. Glavine's going to have the curveball working and catch the inside corner. Actually, that's going to be the outside corner to a lefty for strike 3. Butler thought it missed the plate, but it got enough of it that the umpire brings him up on strikes. Next up is Sharperson. Sharperson is 1 for 1 with a single as well. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. He'll nod at the first sign he sees. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That's a cocked die. 11 is going to be a patient 92. I doubt he's that patient. Not against the lefty. That's going to be a fly ball into left field. Coming under that one without too much trouble will be Nixon. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. And here's Cal Daniels. Daniels flew out his first time up. Glavine hoping for a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning after watching his third baseman get shaken up and taken out of the game. Glavine gets a sign from Olsen. Here comes the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 37, and that'll be a swing and a miss at a changeup down low in the zone. Daniels will go chasing it, and that'll be the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers. It remains 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers after 4. Top of the 5th coming up, and we've got the middle of Atlanta's order due up next. Wetland finishes up his warm-up tosses as David Justice steps into the batter's box. Justice reached on an error back in the second. We're getting ready for the top of the fifth. 1-0 Dodgers. Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Winner takes the 1-0 lead and gets Game 1. Wetland looking at Scotia for the sign. Wetland will wind, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 94, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Strawberry without too many problems. We'll get to that one, and that will be the first out of the inning. And here's Treadway. Treadway is 0 for 1. Wetland will look in at Scotia for the sign. He'll get the sign. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 11 is going to be a defense check. Let's see who we're checking this time. This time we're checking for an error on the right fielder. Strawberry is our right fielder. His error rating is a 3. And he's just barely going to boot that one. He'll come close to getting it, but he won't be able to get it. And in the outfield, that's going to be a single and a one-base error. So that's going to be a 1BE9. And that's how Treadway is going to end up at second base. So just like that, the Braves now have something going on already with 1 out. And here's Greg Olson. Olson is 0 for 1. Let's see, Treadway is a D4, which I believe translated to a D4 is a normal chance. He's not going anywhere. Besides, good contact from Olson ties this game. Wetland looking in at Scotia a little bit nervous. Wetland will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a patient 22, and Olson is going to end up with ball 4. He'll end up on base. And now I'm dropping cards while I'm at it. And now here's Rafael Belliard. Belliard struck out looking his first time up. The Braves now have something going on with 1 out, but the Dodgers will move the infield right to double play depth. Runners on first and second for the Braves with 1 out. 1-0 Dodgers, top of the fifth, Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Wetland on the mound, looks in at Scotia for the sign. Wetland will set, and here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 31, and that's much needed. So that'll be a swing and a miss at a curveball just in the zone. Belliard had to go after it, and that will be the second out of the inning. A huge strikeout as the Dodgers faithful start giving Wetland a standing ovation for that one. Here's Glavine. Glavine is 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. Unfortunately, he's got to swing the bat in this case. Wetland will get the sign. Glavine at the hill, at the plate, trying to help his own cause. Wetland will set, and here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a tough 75. Glavine will swing and miss at that one and strike out. He'll come over the top of that one, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, a walk, and an error, and the score remains 1-0 Dodgers. Stadium size. Whew! Dodgers had a scare there, but fortunately they had Glavine at the plate, and Glavine managed to strike out on that one. Bottom of the fifth coming up, and now we've got the bottom of the Dodgers order due up next. Here's Eddie Murray. Murray is 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. Glavine will look in at Olson for the sign. He'll wind up, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 93, and that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting after that one is going to be Nixon. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. And here's Mike Scotia. Scotia grounded out his first time up. Still 1-0 Dodgers. Very much anybody's game at this point. Glavine gets the sign from Olson. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 87, and that's going to be grounded. He's going to get over top of that one and ground that one over to over to second. Getting to that one is Treadway. He'll throw it over to first for the second out of the inning. And here's John Wetland coming up to the plate for the first time. Forgot to make a substitution in my book. Glavine will look in at Olsen for the sign. Glavine will wind up, and here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 6. That'll be a called strike 3 on a changeup that's just on the inside corner, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 will go the Dodgers, and the score remains 1-0 in LA after 5. Pitchers duel brewing here, folks. Top of the 6th coming up, and we've got the top of Atlanta's order due up next. Wetland finishing up his warm-up tosses here as Nixon will step into the batter's box. Otis Nixon is 0 for 2. 1-0 Dodgers in the top of the 6th. Wetland will get the sign from Scotia, and here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 33. Nixon's going to fight that one off and get a base hit. So he'll be the first base runner for Atlanta. Actually, he'll be the leadoff runner for Atlanta in the inning. Infield will go to double play depth for the time being, and here's Bream. Bream is 0 for 2. Nixon is a B against is a B4, which I believe is an excellent chance. Yep. He's a jump of 10 against the hold of 8. Jump of 10 against the hold of 8. 84 and up, he's going to get the jump. They're going to see if he can get the jump. At 11, he's very much going to get the jump. Nixon's off to second on an excellent chance. Let's see if he gets there. No! What a play by Scotia. He's going to make a great throw, as he'll call for a pitch out on that because they thought Nixon might try something. They're going to get a pitch out, and Nixon is going to get caught stealing for the first out of the inning. Stadium cheers. Yay! That could have been a big problem for the Dodgers, but Scotia calls for a pitch out. Wetland was skeptical, but it's a good thing he trusted Scotia because they threw out Nixon stealing. So just like that, 1 out in the inning. Nixon thought he had everything all set to go, but good thing Scotia's a paranoid so-and-so in this case. So Wetland will now pitch to Bream with the bases empty. Wetland gets the sign from Scotia. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 2 is a ballpark check, and 2 is wheelhouse. Bream seems to have got a hold of one. Let's see what happens here. 72, that's going to be hit on the screws, but right out of the infield for a base hit. So Bream can't believe he didn't hit that one out of the park. Next up is our new third baseman, Jeff Blauser. Blauser is making his first appearance. He hit 7 of his 11 homers against right-handed pitching. Bream is an F jump and a steal of 3 against a hold of 8. He's not going anywhere. And the Dodgers will go back to double play depth. 1-0 Dodgers. Top of the 6th with 1 out. Wetland will get the sign from Scotia, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 96, and it's going to be a fly ball into left field. Daniels will get under that one for the second out of the inning. Next up is Gant. Gant is 0 for 2. Wetland will get the sign from Scotia. He will stretch, look over at Bream at first base, and here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a patient 93, but I don't think he's that patient. Nope, he's going to fly that one into left field. Daniels will get away from that one and retire the side. 2 hits, a caught stealing, and the Braves The Braves leave a golden opportunity on the table. As the Dodgers leave the field, Scotia gets a standing ovation for the throwout of Nixon at second base when he tried to steal a base. The Braves will get their warm-up tosses. We'll get loose in the field as we get ready for the bottom of the sixth. Here's Griffin coming up to the plate. Griffin is 0 for 2. Glavine still locked in, but his offense has got to give him some help. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen. Glavine will wind up, and here's the pitch. So let's see, 4 is going to be a ballpark check. 14 is wheelhouse. Griffin will be batting lefty to try to take advantage of the better wheelhouse, but not happening. He doesn't have any home run power, so let's see what happens here. Instead, on a 62, that's going to be skied to right field. Going back for that is Justice. He'll be back to the track, but he'll have enough room to pull that one in for the first out of the inning. I was about to move Glavine back to the Dodgers bench. Here's Samuel. Samuel is 0 for 2. Glavine looking in at Olsen to get the sign, wondering when his offense is going to give him some help. Glavine will wind up, and here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 61. And against a lefty, Samuel is going to smack that one just out of the infield for a base hit. Now his defense needs to give him a little bit of help as well. Next up we'll have Strawberry in the batter's box. A C4 translates to a very good chance. A steal of 4 against a hold of 8. The Dodgers aren't going to try it this time. They're tempted, but they're not going to try to steal here. Glavine will look over at Samuel at first base. Strawberry at the plate. Glavine gets the sign from Olsen. Glavine will set. Braves will move to double play depth. Don't think I've adjusted that. I will drop the blue D10. Glavine will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. 12 is a wheelhouse 0-0, so we're going to have a rare play wheelhouse with men on. Runners on base wheelhouse. Here we are. '89. Outfield makes a running catch on a deep fly ball and crashes into the wall. He hangs on to the ball for the out, but is dazed. All runners advance 2 bases. So Strawberry is going to be out, but we got to roll a D6 for the left for the fielder. That's going to be fly to right field. Justice will make a beautiful catch on that one. That'll be the second out. Samuel will find himself at third base, but we need to check Justice for an injury. Justice is normal. So let's see what happens to the Braves on the injury to Justice. Justice will clear the cobwebs on that one. He'll stay in the game. So nothing special there. Samuel at third base, though. 2 outs in the inning in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Butler. Butler is 1 for 2 today. 1-0 Dodgers. Dodgers with a runner on third. 2 out. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Glavine looking in at Olsen for the sign. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 40. That's going to be popped right up the chimney. Olsen will get under that one. He'll make the catch and retire the side. Nothing across except the single and the hard fly ball the deep fly ball into right field for Justice that he had to try to deal with. Score will remain 1-0 LA. I forgot to get somebody warming up in the bullpen for Wetland. When we come back in the top of the 7th with the middle of Atlanta's order due up next, we will have a pitching change for the Dodgers. I lied. We're not going to have a pitching change yet for the Dodgers. Wetland actually has one more inning that he can go before he needs to come out of the game. But we are going to get some activity in the Dodger bullpen as Tim Cruz is going to start warming up. Leading off the inning is David Justice, who had that great catch in the bottom of the 6th inning. So now let's see what he can do with the bat. Justice, though, isn't doing much with the bat. He's 0 for 1. He reached on an error back in the 2nd. John Wetland will look in at Scotia for the sign. Here comes the windup, and here's the pitch. 11 is a defense check. Let's see who we're checking this time. Error on the shortstop. Griffin is the shortstop with an error rating of a 3. That's a 92. He won't make the play, and that will be a ground ball over to short. Griffin will get to that one easily. He'll fire it over to first for the first out of the inning. And here's Treadway. Treadway is 0 for 1. He also reached on an error. He actually made it to second on an error back in the 5th. Treadway at the plate, Wetland on the hill. 1-0 Dodgers, top of the 7th, 1 out. Wetland gets the sign from Scotia, and here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 62, and that's going to be too high. That's going to be a fly ball into left field. Daniels will get to that one, and that'll be the second out of the inning. And here's Greg Olson. Olson is 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Wetland looks in at Scotia for the sign. Here's the pitch. 3 is going to be another defense check. This time we're checking range on the second baseman. He's got to make this play. Second baseman for the Dodgers is Samuel. His range is a C. Samuelson will range a little bit to his left, but he'll get to that one easily. He'll be able to pivot, get control of his feet, and throw it over to first to retire the side. Great play there by Samuel over at second base. Stadium cheers. Yay! And the score remains 1-0 LA. We're in the 7th inning stretch, and as usual, I won't torture you guys with my rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I will announce, however, that Saturday I'm hoping for a doubleheader in the 91 playoffs. I'm hoping we'll be able to get games for both of the number 1 seeds on the channel tomorrow. So first up, we'd have the Kansas City Royals visiting the number 1 seeded Toronto Blue Jays in the American League for Game 1. The Royals, of course, won the wild card game by beating the Detroit Tigers 5-4 in a nail-biter. Then in the afternoon, the New York Mets, who clobbered the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 11-4 in the National League wild card game, would be in Pittsburgh to play the Pirates in Game 1 of their series. But I'm getting a bit rambly on that front. Moving into the bottom of the 7th here, we've got Mike Sharperson coming up to the batter's box. Sharperson is 1 for 2 with a single, all the way back in the 1st. Glavine will look in at Olson for the sign, and here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a patient 16. Sharperson will lead the inning off with a walk. Not what you want to see if you're a Braves fan. Coming up will be Daniels. Daniels is 0 for 2. Sharperson is an F steal. He's not going anywhere. The infield for Atlanta will move to double play depth. Glavine looking at Olson for the sign. He'd love to get the pitcher's best friend right here. He'd love to get a twin killing. Daniels at the plate. Sharperson at first. Glavine looks in at Olson for the sign. Glavine will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is an in-play 70. That's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. That's over to Belliard. We need a 6 or less on 2d6 for a double play. No! Sharperson will be thrown out at first. Daniels will reach on the fielder's choice. That's going to be a G6 fielder's choice. for the second out of the inning. Actually, for the first out of the inning, the infield will stay at double play depth. So Daniels will reach, Sharperson's out, and here's Murray. Murray is 0 for 2. Daniels is a B4, which once again is a B4 is an excellent chance to steal. He's a jump of 4 against a hold of 8. Jump of 4 against a hold of 8. They're gonna try it actually. He needs a jump of 4 against a hold of 8. He needs a 63 and up to get the jump. Actually, 63 and lower to get the jump. He will get the jump, so Daniels is going to take off for second. So let's see what happens here. Daniels will be safe at second. There'll be a close throw, but Daniels will get under the tag, and he'll be at second with a stolen base. So unlike Scotia earlier, Olsen doesn't get the throw under control. They make the throw up, but Daniels beats the tag. So all of a sudden, Daniels is now in scoring position, and the double plays off the table. Glavine looks over at Daniels at second. Settles back in to deal with Murray. Glavine will get the sign from Olsen, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 9. That'll be a called strike 3 on the outside corner. The curveball catches enough of the corner that Murray will be rung up on strikes. He'll head back to the dugout. And here's Scotia. Scotia is 0 for 2. Bottom of the 7th, 2 out. Daniels on second. Glavine on the mound. Glavine looks in at Olsen for the sign. Here's the pitch. 10 is a patient 32. And against the lefty, Scotia is going to walk. So Scotia will end up at first with a 2-out walk. And that's going to be it for Wetland. I'll compile stats for Wetland. So he went 3.1. Gave up 3 hits. No runs, no earned, no wild pitches. Faced 1, 10, 11, 12, 13. Struck out 2. Gave up 1 walk. So actually it's going to be Wetland who's in line for the win, who's coming in to pinch hit in the bottom of the 7th. They're going to bring in Mitch Webster to pinch hit. He hit his only homer against left-handed pitching. All right. Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Webster at the plate, Glavine at the mound. Glavine looks in at Olsen for the sign. Glavine will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 64. Webster is going to try to do way too much with a changeup. He'll swing and miss over the top of it and strike out, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 walk, a fielder's choice, actually 2 walks. Nothing across except 2 walks and a fielder's choice for the Dodgers. Score remains 1-0 in favor of LA. Getting ready for the top of the 8th with the bottom of Atlanta's order, and this time, now that we've had a pinch hitter, now we will have a pitching change for the Dodgers. Wetland is going to come out of the game, and coming in to pitch and try to keep this a 1-0 game will be Tim Cruz. 2-3 with a 3.34 ERA, 53 strikeouts, 19 walks, 7 homers, and 75 hits in 76 innings pitched in 91. We're also going to get some activity in Atlanta's bullpen as they're going to turn to... Who are the Braves going to turn to? Braves are going to get Mike Stanton warming up in their bullpen. Because Glavin's also batting second in this inning. And I don't know if they're going to let Glavin... They're probably going to pull Glavin for a pinch hitter at this point. At least if I'm the Dodgers, I'd be looking for them to try that. Here's Rafael Belliard. Belliard is 0 for 2. Although Glavin is having a great day at the plate. Is having a great day on the mound. Cruz will settle in after his warm-up tosses. Cruz will get his first sign from Scotia. He'll set, and here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 48. And against a righty, Belliard's going to fight that one off to get a leadoff base hit. The Braves are going to pinch hit for Glavin at this point, so he's going to compile stats for Glavin. He faced 26, gave up 1 run, 1 earned, no wild pitches, struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, walked, looks like 1, and gave up 1, 2, 3. Oh no, wait. I'm compiling stats on the wrong side. Glavin struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gave up 1, 2, 3 walks. 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Gave up 1, 2, 3 hits. So Glavin actually had a really good outing, but the offense just isn't giving him any help. Let's see who the Braves want to bring in to pinch hit in this situation. The Braves are going to turn to... The Braves are going to bring Brian Hunter in to pinch hit. He hit 6 of his homers against right-handed pitching, so... Right, Brian Hunter. Let's see if Belliard can do anything with this. He's a B4, which should be an excellent chance to steal. Yep, B4 is an excellent chance. He has a jump of 3 against a hold of 10. Jump of 3, hold of 10. 70 and up, he's going to take off. 70 and under, Belliard's going to take off. That's a 73, so Belliard's actually going to stay put, which is unfortunate for the Braves. The Dodgers will go to double play depth. Cruz will get the sign from Scotia. Hunter looking in at Cruz for the pitch. Cruz will set, and here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 73. And that's going to be flied into center field. Center field. Who is that? Butler will come under that one. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Wait, okay, hold on. I did my scoring on the wrong one. Okay, now that we've got that figured out. So Hunter flew out. And Nixon is up next. Nixon is 1 for 3, but he got caught stealing. Speaking of stealing, Belliard's going to try again. They're going to give him a sign to try to go to second again. Let's see if he gets the jump. Once again, if I stop dropping dice, he's a 70 and under to get the jump. That's a 29. He's off to second on an excellent chance. Does Scotia call for a paranoid pitch out again? He does not this time. This time, Belliard will make it to second base easily without so much as a throw. Actually, it was Nixon who got caught stealing back in the 6th. So the double play is gone, and now a base hit from Nixon ties this game. Well, probably ties the game. I shouldn't say it does. But Cruz will wait for the sign from Scotia. 1 out. Top of the 8th. Belliard on first. Nixon at the plate. Cruz will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 92. And that's going to be grounded right on the screws to short. That'll be Griffin getting to that one. He'll throw it over first, and I'm pretty sure Belliard will take third on first base empty, runner on second. Runner on second advances to run when it's with a 7 or higher when it's hit the short. Belliard does have a run rating of 7 or higher, so he will make third, but there will be 2 outs in the inning. And now it'll be up to Sid Bream to try to get Belliard home and tie the game for the Braves. Bream is 1 for 3 today. Infield isn't going to worry about playing in or back. Top of the 8th. 2 outs, Belliard on third. Bream at the plate. Cruz gets a sign from Scotia. Cruz will set. Here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a tough 73. And that's going to be flied into center field. Coming under that one is going to be Butler. He'll make the catch and retire the side. Stadium size. Phew! That was a scare for the Dodgers. Glavine will come out of the game, and here comes Mike Stanton in to pitch. 5-5 with a 2.88 ERA, 54 strikeouts, 21 walks, 6 homers, and 62 hits in 78 innings in 91. We're looking at the top of the Dodgers order this time. Griffin coming up to the plate now. Griffin is 0 for 3. Stanton trying to keep this a 1-0 game. Dodgers looking for insurance. Stanton will get the sign from Olsen. Stanton will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 82. That's going to be flied into center field. Coming under that one. Again, we'll get under that one easily for the first out of the inning. We're going to get some activity in the Dodger bullpen as well. As who's their closer? Dodgers are going to turn to Jay Howell's going to start throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Here's Juan Samuel coming up to the plate, right? Yes. Samuel is 1 for 3 with a single back in the 6th. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Dodgers. Stanton looks in at Olsen for the sign. He will set. Stanton will pitch. 10 is going to be a defense check. Somebody's got to play defense for the Braves. We're looking at an error on the second baseman. The second baseman for the Braves is Treadway. His error rating is a 3. That's a 47. He's going to boot that one, and let's see what happens on the error here. That'll be a 1-base error for Samuel, so he'll reach, and I'm going to take a small break before we get to the next batter. Here's Darryl Strawberry up to the plate. I had to take a small break because my camera was starting to overheat on me. Strawberry is 0 for 2 with a walk. Samuel is a C4, which we've established is a very good chance. He's a jump of 4 against a hold of 9 from Stanton. Jump of 4, hold of 9. It'd be a 70 and up to try to steal. He's going to try. They're going to see if they can. He's going to see if he can get the jump. That's a 13. Samuel's going to take off for second on a very good chance. And Samuel's going to be safe at second base on the steal. Great play by Samuel to take away the double play. So that will negate the double play for the Braves. Stanton will now turn and deal with Strawberry. Stanton will get the sign from Olsen. He will set, and Stanton will pitch. 5 is a tough 65. Strawberry's going to fight that one off and get a base hit out of it. That'll be a sharp liner into center field. Runners on first and second will each advance a base. So Strawberry will end up on first with a single. And Samuel, a huge insurance run, will find himself at third. But the Braves will move to double play depth, and here's Butler. Butler, though, is... actually, Actually, the Braves are going to play in, since Butler doesn't hit into a lot of double plays. Butler is 1 for 3. 1-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th. 1 out. Samuel on third. Strawberry on first. Butler at the plate. Stanton looks in at Olsen for the sign. Stanton will set, and here's the pitch. 3 is a tough 66. And that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting under that one is going to be Nixon. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. I believe on a... That was a tough, I believe it was. Runner on third scores of his run rate 87 and higher. So Samuel actually will score on the sac fly. And that will make it 2-0 Dodgers, as the Dodgers get a huge insurance run out of that one. Stadium will cheer at the sac fly. Yay! And here's Sharperson. Sharperson is 1 for 3. Actually 1 for 2 with a walk. 2-0 Dodgers. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Stanton looking at Olsen for the sign. Stanton will set, and he will pitch. 11 is a ballpark check. 16 is wheelhouse. Sharperson might have got a hold of one here. Let's see what happens. 64, no. He's going to fly that one into right field. Justice will come under that one, actually. And that will retire the side. 1 run on an error, a hit, and a huge stolen base. And it is now 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. We'll get ready for the top of the 9th, as the Dodgers will have a new pitcher. Cruz is coming out of the game for the Dodgers. Coming in to try to pitch and try to close this game out is going to be Jay Howell. 51 innings pitched, 39 hits, 3 homers, 11 bit walks, 40 strikeouts and 16 saves, 6-5 with a 3.18 ERA. Howell is going to try to close this game 1 out for the Dodgers, but in order to do it, he's going to have to run the gauntlet of the heart of the Braves order. Here's Jeff Blauser. Blauser is 0 for 1. He flew out back in the 6th. Howell will get the sign from Scotia. Howell will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 27. Blauser will go chasing a slider for strike 3. That'll be 1 out. And here's Gant. Gant is 0 for 3. 2-0 Dodgers. Top of the 9th. Dodgers 2 outs away from a 1-0 lead. Braves trying to extend this game. Howell will get the sign from Scotia. He will set, and here's the pitch. 9 is a patient 65, and against a righty, Gant's going to end up with a base hit. So Gant trying to do his part to help out the team. The infield will move to double play depth. Here's David Justice. Gant is a jump of 7 against a hold of 7. And a C4. He's going to try it. The Braves are going to try to get aggressive on the base paths here in the top of the 9th. 2-run game. If he can get moved into scoring position, that would be great. He needs a 70 or less to get the jump. That's a 79. Gant will stay put, unfortunately, for the Braves. Justice they're going to have to rely on David Justice's power to try to get him in, to try to get Gant in. Howell will look in at Scotia for the sign, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be an in-play 15, and against a righty, that's going to be a base hit. Sharp liner into center field, so that's going to be an S8. Runner on first advances 1 base. So that's going to be an S8 for Justice. Or for Justice, and Gant's going to end up at second. We'll bring Treadway up to the plate. I'll say that Treadway is 1 for 3 with a single today. Before I need to change my battery. All of a sudden, the Braves are threatening now. Runners on first and second, 1 out. A good hit potentially gets a run on the board. Could tie the game if it's hard enough. Howell on the mound. Scotia behind the plate. Treadway batting. 2-0 Dodgers. Top of the 9th. 1 out. Howell looks in at Scotia for the sign. Howell shakes Scotia off once. Gets another sign. Howell will take this one. He'll set. And here comes the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 75. It's a fly ball to center field. Coming under that one is going to be Butler. He'll make the catch for the second out. What did we say that was? That was a tough to start the at-bat on an F8. Gant will advance to third. So there's that for the Braves. But there are 2 outs. And the last chance for the Braves now comes to Greg Olson. Olson is unfortunately for the Braves 0 for 2 with a walk today. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Howell trying to give the Dodgers a 1-0 series lead. Olson trying to continue the game. Howell will get the sign from Scotia. Howell will set. Here's the pitch. 9 is a patient 97. It's a fly ball into left field. Getting under that one is going to be Daniels. He'll take 2 steps to his right. Dodger Stadium cheering. Daniels puts out his glove. Flop. And the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Los Angeles Dodgers take a 1-0 series lead as they defeat the Atlanta Braves by the score of 2-0. Final line score coming up. I think each team had each team had an error, right? Yes. Wait, something's not right. Five. So the Braves actually had 5 hits. Dodgers had 1, 2, 3. Oh, looks like they had. Okay. For the Dodgers, 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. For the Braves, no runs on 3 hits and one error. Winning pitcher tonight is John Wetland. Tom Glavine takes a tough loss despite a great outing. And Jay Howell will end up with a save. And the Dodgers will end up with a 1-0 series lead. Coming up on Saturday, like I mentioned, hopefully the doubleheader with the the Kansas City Royals traveling to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays in Game 1 of that series. And then the New York Mets going into Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates in their Game 1. As for other happenings on the channel, Mystical Munchies on Saturday will feature the side Blue Cornbread Muffins. Sunday we'll be playing APA Hockey, along with potentially a Game 2 in the series, but I'll talk more about that in the next baseball video. And Wednesday next week we're playing game number 5 on my TACUP Wargaming list as we play Target for Today from Legion Wargames. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.